So a while back, I did a few videos on this Samsung Q1 Ultra, a Windows XP/Vista handheld tablet PC from the late 2000s. We did the unboxing, explored the factory-installed software, and then got Windows Vista up and running on it. But today, we're going to take it up a notch by trying to put macOS 10 on this thing to turn it into a custom touchscreen Hackintosh. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. So despite what I just brought on camera here, we're not actually going to be installing macOS 10 Leopard on this today. No, we're going to be putting Snow Leopard on this thing, specifically one of those custom Hackintosh distros that I've done numerous videos on this channel before. And this one that I'm going to be trying out today, I've actually never used before. It's called Hazard 10.6, and I actually found out about it through an old Insanely Mac forum thread where someone was able to get it installed on the Q1 Ultra. Now, there's a couple more of these threads with people trying out different Hackintosh distros on it, dating all the way back to 2007 when this tablet was released. So I figured if we can't get this installed for whatever reason, we've got numerous other things to try. So all we should have to do is pop in our install DVD to our external USB DVD drive, and we'll get this show on the road. Alright, that's a great sign. We'll just press enter to speed that up here. Alright, so we got a oh, whoa, okay. Well, well, yeah, the Apple logo is custom, so that's kind of nice, I guess. It looks like, is this a kernel panic? Yeah, kernel panic occurred. We apologize for the inconvenience. So, yeah, that's not great. So... oh boy, well, so much for not running into issues, because as it turns out, both of the copies of Hazard 10.6 that I tried to get booting on this thing would not work at all. They kept kernel panicking even after going in and adding a bunch of boot flags to it. So, yeah. That definitely sucked, but the silver lining is, you see, we are booted into a macOS 10 installer. This right here is a copy of IATKOS, a build for macOS 10.6, and not only did it boot up into the installer, but the touchscreen works. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, we're gonna go through and install this. And, I mean, we'll see. I'm not going to celebrate too much yet, because we may still encounter some problems during the installation, but this is definitely a great sign. One thing that I do remember reading through those various forum threads that I mentioned earlier is the touchscreen calibration was never 100% accurate, and it would be off, though that doesn't really seem to be the case right now. It seems like, the mouse cursor is about, okay, we can kind of see right there. You see how, like, I'm tapping and the cursor is to the right of where I'm actually tapping. So the calibration is a little bit off at times, but still, it works, which is great. Now, we are actually going to open up the disk utility here, because I do want to just wipe the partition. So we'll go to Utilities, Disk Utility. I have to say, it is pretty weird to use macOS 10 with a touchscreen. I mean, I know things like the mod book exist, but I don't have one of those. They're expensive. This is far cheaper. So we're just going to go to our Samsung drive here, and we're just going to erase the entire drive. We'll just make it macOS Extended Journaled. I do have a keyboard plugged in, because I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I was trying to add boot flags and everything to the other Hazard disks, but we're just going to call this Hackintosh HD. Alright, that's been taken care of, so we're going to select this as our installation disk, and we are going to, of course, hit on Customize down here to bring up all of the options to get the various drivers and everything. And I do have the specifications of this computer pulled up to make sure that we get the right drivers for things like the display and everything. I'm actually just going to use the trackpad for this, just to make it easier. And language translations, we don't need any of that, so I think we're good. We'll hit OK, and let's install and see if we are successful. Well, would you look at this? We have gotten nowhere over the course of the past, like, 3 hours that I've let this thing sit here on this screen. Yeah, normally it's supposed to go to a screen where it shows you how much time you've got left. It's just been sitting here. The system has not frozen up, though. I mean, we can still, like, go into these menus here. And, I don't know, let's try to maybe quit the installer. And yeah, we'll just hit restart. And I just checked, there's nothing on the hard drive, not surprisingly, because it didn't finish the installation properly. So, what I'm going to do is boot back off of this disk again. And I'm going to mess around with those drivers and just get, like, the bare minimum that we need. And just see if maybe that changes anything. Alright, we're back, and oh boy, you can see we ran into some more problems. So, the good news is, I was able to get IATKOS installed on this device. The bad news is, you see that we are getting not really a kernel panic, but it just says the system bootstrapper has crashed when we try to boot from it. This originally said it was going to take 7 hours to install. That ended up being about 4 hours, not as long, but still a pretty long time for an OS X installation. And I traced down the hanging issue we were experiencing before to the wrong hard drive controller being selected. So I selected the right one, and I also found a forum thread on Insanely Mac from somebody else who tried to install a different Hackintosh distro, in this case iDeneb 1.6, on this device, and they actually gave a list of all the driver selections that they used. And yeah, you can see, I mean, like I said, we got it installed, but it just hangs on boot up here. And this is even after applying some boot flags like I did with the Hazard distro earlier, like -X to start the system in safe mode. You can see this is actually verbose boot output, because if you don't do verbose boot, you just get an infinitely spinning Apple logo. And since my attempts to troubleshoot this have been unsuccessful, I'm going to do what that forum poster recommended and try to install iDeneb 1.6, which is a modified build of OS 10.5.8. Alright, believe it or not, we finally have some good news for once. We've successfully installed macOS 10.5.8 on the Samsung Q1 Ultra. However, not everything can be perfect, so we do have another problem here, and that is that the screen resolution is a little wonky, and you can see that the setup dialog here is actually a bit off the screen, so we cannot see the buttons on the bottom. Now, fortunately, so I don't have to sit here and, like, try and, you know, tap the buttons without being able to see them with the stylus, we can just hit Tab on the keyboard and get down to, not that, this should be, okay, that's that, this should be next. There we go. Okay, so we'll select our keyboard, that should be back, this should be next, Tab again, which will be back, Tab again for next. And look at that, it detected our wireless card, so that's great, at least we know that's working. So the first thing I'm going to try and do is change the screen resolution and see if we can get this down to where we can see everything on the screen, because that would be nice, wouldn't it? But let's go up here, I'm curious what hardware this is recognizing in about this Mac. So we've got a genuine Intel processor, 800 MHz, and 1 GB of DDR2 RAM. That sounds about right. Let's go to System Profiler here. Oh, and it thinks it's a Mac Pro, too. Look at that. That's the system name there. Yeah, Mac Pro 2,1. A rather miniature Mac Pro, if you ask me. But let's go in here to Displays. These all look like 4:3 resolutions. Alright, after spending way too much time trying to change the screen resolution to something in 16:9, we have been unsuccessful, because yes, all these resolutions listed here are in 4:3. And for whatever reason, despite me, I guess, misremembering this, macOS 10 does not have like a built-in terminal command where you can just type in whatever screen resolution you want and apply it that way. So you have to actually use a third-party program to change your screen resolution to something that is not in the display system preferences panel. And I tried two of those, C-Screen and SwitchRes X, and I was not able to change the resolution with either of them, despite the fact that C-Screen has like a force mode where you can force it to change the resolution to apparently anything. It even says use at your own risk. That didn't work, and SwitchRes X didn't work either, despite the fact that if we go into show all here, apparently you get complete control over your monitor, except not in this case, because we can't change the resolution to a custom one. So yeah, that is unfortunate. So we're gonna have to be at this 800x600 4:3 resolution for the rest of this video. But now we get to do some fun stuff, at least hopefully. So the past few times that I've messed around with OS X on this channel, I've tried to get this copy of Halo Combat Evolved for Hackintosh working, and so far I've been unsuccessful at that. This computer certainly meets the system requirements, though I'm 99.9% sure that this particular copy of Halo Combat Evolved is for PowerPC only. However, there was a PowerPC Intel Universal Binary for this game that I've got on this USB drive here. So we're going to first try out the copy that I have and see if, just on the off chance that it is the universal binary copy. The only date that we have to go by is the one on the disc itself here, which is a copyright date of 2003, but copyright dates are not necessarily the date that the product was released. For example, I actually have a thing of seasoning that still has a copyright date of 1999 on it, despite the fact that it's still sold in stores, you know, in the modern day. It was just never changed for whatever reason. Hopefully they updated their copyright though. Unfortunately, our disk drive is not being cooperative here, though we can just eject it this way, which is kind of the way you're supposed to do it in OS X, especially on Macs that don't have a physical eject button. So we will pop that out. There we go. And we'll put in our copy of Halo Combat Evolved. And we'll try to run the Halo installer. This is such like a dumb video. Like I'm just spent all this time installing macOS 10 on this thing just so we can run Halo, which we can do on Windows anyway. Okay, November 2003. So this is definitely the PowerPC version. 800 megahertz or faster PowerPC G4 or G5 processor. So yeah, we are just not going to bother with this. Install successful. That's great. So we will close out of that. Okay, we just have a Halo application this time, not a folder. CD-ROM was not found. Okay, so this, I wonder if we can use the CD-ROM that I have. Alright, not to worry, because I went back to that Internet Archive listing and found that there were some additional files, including a CD image. So I've got that. I also got the updaters on this USB drive. Those were separate from that original DMG that we used as well. So the first thing we're going to do is not that. We're going to eject the disk once again, and I'm actually going to copy over the updaters. So okay, we're going to select those two, and I guess we'll just drag them to the desktop and then copy the lobby updater as well. We'll do that separately for some reason, and then we'll eject this. Yeah, those didn't take long to copy at all, and we are going to pop in our universal binary copy of Halo. There we go. Now we have to put in the product key. All right. So let's, I guess we can just start the game with the default options. I guess we'll leave on pixel and vertex shaders for now. And yeah, model detail high, lens flare medium, FSAA off. I guess that's fine. We can't see the, this is the same thing that happened the last time that I tried to run this. The window here goes off the screen. So luckily OK is selected, so we can just hit enter. And let's see if, oh, okay, it looks like it's setting to a incompatible resolution. I think we can just do a Command Q here to quit out of it though. So there we go. Let's try that again. We'll just say ignore. And I guess we could have hit relaunch, but I don't know if that would have relaunched the game or just the settings panel here. So, okay, play in a window. Let's just do that and hit enter. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Westlake Interactive. And we got sound working. I mean, that's not surprising. We've had sound working this whole time, but oh my gosh. This is amazing. Like, seriously, I've tried for like 4 videos now to try to get this stupid game working on a Mac, and this isn't even a Mac, but we got it working on. I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to say anymore, because the game could still crash or not run properly. Let's go to settings and see if we can change the screen resolution. It apparently just does not like 640 by 480. New 001. Oh my gosh, the classic default Halo name that you would see when you would go online. I just love that. Man, this was my first experience playing Halo was the PC version of Halo 1. So this definitely takes me back. But yeah, video setup. So let's bump this up to 800 by 600. If we can Oh, we can't even change the resolution. Okay. Alright, quick jump cut here. I just realized that you guys weren't going to be able to hear any of the audio because of the way I have the microphone set up. So, we have a direct audio feed coming out of the headphone jack now. So, yeah, what I was saying, or what I was about to say, is that I think we may be able to change the resolution if this was in full screen, but we can't launch the game in full screen because it defaults to 640 by 480, which the system doesn't like, as you saw. So we're going to stick at this resolution for now. I mean, that's fine with me. I guess I can just use the keyboard here. 30 FPS is the, well, we got VSync. I guess we can just set it on VSync, sure. And yeah, we'll leave all this just at the default settings for now, because I do want to, let's hit OK here. I wonder if, I mean, no, we're not on the network. Let me tab out of this quickly and to just connect to my home network, because I do want to see if we can play this game online. I know that the PC version of Halo that I have, you can still actually play it online, at least the last time that I did it. There was a like patch update after the GameSpy server shut down, which is what this used for online matchmaking and, you know, server hosting and all that. So one of these patches in here may allow us to play online. I don't know, but let's just go to OK here. We'll let that save, and let's just try to go into multiplayer, see what happens. So join game, internet, if I can select that there, and we'll get the list. So yeah, we got nothing. So not really surprising, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go to campaign. And I guess you can't hit enter on that. You have to actually click on it. Okay, so we'll click on campaign, and we'll just go on normal. Of course, we do have this whole intro video and everything, so I'm just going to have to let this play out because I don't think... Oh, we can skip it. Look at that. Okay, thank you. So, oh yeah, definitely got some... We got some lag going on, that's for sure. Now, I did turn on VSync. We could set this back to 30 FPS and, of course, lower the graphics settings and see if that improves performance a little bit for us. But we'll just wait for us to get out of the pod here. Alright, we just hit E to exit out, and let's see if we can move around here, which, yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Not really bad at all. Well, we dropped some frames there. Okay, let's just start messing around with the settings and see what we can do. Gosh, this is annoying. Okay, change settings. So we'll bump this to 30 FPS, and we'll change texture quality to low and particles on low. Is there a very low, or is it just low? I think low is the lowest. If I can frickin' select these. Yeah, high, medium, low, high, off. Okay, we can turn it off. Let's just do that. Let's see how that changes things for us. So we'll resume game. I mean, you know, it's definitely not bad. That's for sure. I mean, we can walk around here. Certainly the best that I've gotten Halo to run on any Mac. I mean, this isn't a Mac again, but any OS X install that I've set up over the course of the past few months. So that's cool. But yeah, I am curious to try and see if we can get multiplayer working. So, okay, we've got 2 updaters, I guess, for the game itself. And then we have the lobby updater. So the archive page said we have to run 2.03, then 2.04, and then I believe the lobby updater after that. So there's the fixes. Mac Universal Binary Builds now in sync with PC version 1.08. So this looks like it's from August 2008. Alright, that's done. We will close out of that and run 2.04 or 2.0.4. And this is from October 2009 in sync with PC version 1.09. So alright, we'll continue. Close, and we'll run the lobby updater. Oh, look at that. This is to use the new multiplayer internet lobby after GameSpy stopped supporting it in 2014. This is awesome. Okay, so we might actually be able to join an online server, which will be pretty cool. And okay, we can here change, like let's set model detail to low, lens flare to low, and let's turn off the hardware shaders to see if that, you know, improves performance for us a little bit more. All right, so I probably should plug in a proper mouse. Or, you know what? I'm gonna try to play with the trackpad here and these, and I mean still use the keyboard for WASD. But let's go to internet and get the list. If this works, I'm gonna be. Oh my gosh, it works. I just love that this game is still. There's people still playing this game even in 2024. So. I always like to do capture the flag on either Blood Gulch or Sidewinder, but let's just see what has the most players currently. Okay, we've got a Blood Gulch capture the flag on some server name, just an exclamation point, okay? Capture the flag. Oh my god. Okay, well. Oh, they got this setup where you start with a sniper too. Point of it is very laggy. So, oh, and someone just shot me. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to kill anybody in this, like, at all. I'm kind of a useless teammate at the moment. Can we enter the Warthog? All right. Can I? Let's see if I can drive this thing. Oh my gosh, this is a total. Oh my! Look at this. This is a total disaster. I mean, the game runs, so that looks it. Oh, he was killed by a vehicle. I totally got him. That is so funny. At least I think that was me. I'm just curious to see how much of a difference that we set this back to pixel and vertex shaders. This is going to really screw things up, I'm sure. But let's hit return. All right, and let's try to go back into that same server. You know what? I'm going to, since I mentioned it already, let me go ahead into system preferences and change the mouse sensitivity. There's also in here the inking options because, you know, it thinks we have like a drawing tablet plugged in. So you've got this setting here. You can't do anything to change the touchscreen like calibration, but you can, you know, this is like for handwriting recognition stuff. So you can change your language and gestures and all that. Let's go back to show all here. Go into keyboard and mouse. Go to mouse and tracking speed. Here we go. So let's maybe lower this a little bit. Yeah, like that's honestly not too bad. So we'll just leave it at that, and we'll just drag this out of the way, and let's try to go into a multiplayer game. Oh yeah, this is this is definitely worse. Yeah. Just for fun here, let's set this to none again and go in. I'm going to go into the game settings and make sure that all of those modifications we made earlier in the campaign are still in effect. And just try to, you know, join like a server and just, you know, mess around for a little bit. Which I'm probably not going to do for very long because of how slow that this game's going to run. Yeah, all that stayed, you know, as we said it before. Alright, so here's a server on Sidewinder with nobody on it. So this will be extremely easy to win. But, I mean, we're just gonna, I don't know, let's get into the Warthog here and just try to drive around without the fear of being shot now. This is just really funny. You know, it's been a little while since I've played Halo 1. I still have it installed on my main Windows system. I've played it every once in a while throughout like last year. I mean, it's fun just to fire up and, you know, go into the servers, see who is still playing this. I mean, of course, now we've got the Master Chief Collection on PC. And we've had it on PC for a while, obviously, but you know, it's still fun to experience the original game every once in a while. But yeah. Man, I spent so much time on Halo 1, like back, you know, back in what, the mid to late 2000s. I was really into it. Blue team has the flag. Let's just try to complete one flag capture here. So we will yeah, I always loved to drive like the warthogs and stuff into the base and just try to just try to run people over. I thought it was like the funniest thing. So let's see if we can get back to our base here. This is controlling the Warthog with a trackpad like this is not is not super fun. All right, can we do it? Can we do it? Is somebody gonna join and be able to kill me? Probably not at this point. I mean, I'm literally at the. Oh, jeez. Okay, well. I might end up dying just from like getting run over by my own Warthog here. But okay, here we go. We've scored. And apparently the score is 2-3 right now. I guess the server's been running for a while. Yeah, red still leads blue 3-2. But yeah, there you have it, guys. I mean, that is installing iDeneb, what ended up being iDeneb on the Samsung Q1 Ultra to get macOS 10 on here, turn it into a bit of a touchscreen Hackintosh, and play Halo on it. So yeah, I'd call this video a success despite the numerous amount of obstacles we had to overcome. And, you know, I think at this point we could have just like installed OS x86 from scratch. But I just like to mess around with these Hackintosh distros whenever we do this because, I mean, this was just a really easy way back then to Hackintosh an old Windows machine you might have had lying around. And it was actually my first ever experience using OS 10, even before I started collecting vintage Macs. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you want to see more like it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, get subscribed, maybe consider becoming a channel member or a patron to get early access to these videos before anybody else. But either way, I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.